The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. It's Vlada here, co-founder and CEO of ClassTag, and I brought a little bit of music to our party. So I'll give it a minute or two to get you into the mode of lounge party. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining me. I know it's all various times for you. I'm joining you from New York. It's 8 p.m. Eastern here. As you guys are joining, please find this box with questions. You can. I already see some hello. Hi, Rachel. If you can, guys, share your name and where you're joining from, that would be fantastic. It's always great to connect. And as we go into, excellent, I see Rachel from Philadelphia. I love Philly. I lived there for 2 years. That's fantastic. Excellent. Hi, Ellen from New Jersey. Yay, East Coast. All here. Who else do we have? All right, I see. Okay, Jackie from New York. Hi, Jackie. Excellent. I see Rose from California. Julie from Wisconsin. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining. Despite all the important things that are going on with back to school, getting ready, and all of these things. And this funny picture that you see with all of us with 100% glasses. This was at EC in this summer, and I wanted to really start this off with a lot of I think passion that we all bring to parent communication and parent engagement. And some of these lovely ladies you see with me on the picture are some of our ClassTag ambassadors. And if you join us actually next Wednesday at the same time, you will be meeting Rebecca and Danielle, two of these lovely ladies with me here, and they'll be talking about their experience and how they managed to really get amazing parent engagement. I would love to just introduce myself and tell you guys that the feedback and the response we've been getting from EC and the support from the community with all the new features that we released is absolutely overwhelming. We've got some amazing press with Education Week and others, and I'm very excited to really be here with you and help you get the most out of ClassTag, out of the community, and really have you walk out of this session very confident with how you can achieve fantastic support from parents. So as I mentioned, we have 2 sessions. So today we have Hooray Lunch Party, and next Wednesday we are meeting for Parent Engagement Masterclass with some of the ClassTag power users, and they will really talk about their tips, ideas, and things that they have seen work in their classrooms and schools. So what we're going to cover today is how you can launch ClassTag in your school or class, parent experience, what do parents experience, how to get them on board and excited, really the nuts and bolts of ClassTag. There is a lot to it, a lot of different functionalities, and this is where I would love to hear from you in terms of questions. And please, I'll be on lookout for these questions box, and I promise to take as many of them as possible, so please keep them coming, and we'll have live Q&A at the end, and I'll be taking those questions. So that's me here with my daughter Sophia, and she was really inspiration for me for starting ClassTag. And after building helping big companies become bigger, I realized that education is really my passion, and I wanted to be the best supporter of her education. And that brought me to ClassTag and really on that journey. And as I started, I really learned a lot from the best minds in parent engagement, both in academia and community, and was lucky to participate in Parent Camp by U.S. Department of Education and really learn, what are the types of parent engagement that really matter, what are the roadblocks, what are the barriers, and I wanted to use technology to bring those ideas to life and really inspire and help others overcome them. And as we were talking to hundreds and hundreds of parents, we kept hearing sort of the same feedback. School communications are overwhelming. What do I do to support my child? Where do I participate? How do I feel connected with the community? In the same time, the other side of the story that you guys are very familiar with is, frankly, parents many times are not responding or reading messages, or you don't have complete confidence in sort of what is happening with those communications, and how do you get more support from parents? And parents, frankly, many times don't come, or the same parents come over and over. I see some of the folks are saying these are familiar challenges. So this is really what we've discovered over this ClassTag journey. And if you add on top of it, some of the communities where you have internet access challenges, language barriers, and negative experiences, this becomes really, really hard not to crack. And so that's sort of where ClassTag comes in, and really our mission is to help parents and teachers become partners. And I hope that coming out of today's session and next Wednesday, you'll feel very confident in doing that. So a few things I want to highlight before we dive into the demo. So number one thing that's really exciting about ClassTag is it's completely multi-channel. So it reaches parents in their preferred channel. So it's both available as a website as well as iOS and Android app. And then you can have all these different channels for notification. Either it's SMS or it's email or even paper flyers will let you know which parents are not reading some of the communications, and you can print flyers for them to reach them offline. The second aspect that I think is really helpful is consolidating a lot of the communication streams together. And so here you can see some of the key features that ClassTag has: multi-classroom announcements, two-way messaging, calendar, event RSVPs, all the sort of volunteering, parent-teacher conference signups, and other blocks here that are really important. Automation. If I hope after today's session you'll be able to use all of these activities very confidently, and this would allow you to save tons and tons of time with weekly newsletter with personalized reminders. And there are some other cool features around stats and really trackability of everything that's happening. Again, going back to this challenge of really understanding who's reading, who's responding, what's going on, and the community aspects. So these are just some examples of where you can see who's reading, who's responding. You can see it on every individual announcement. You can see it in the stats page, and you can see with some of the districts now we work on sort of custom dashboards. And so the results that we are seeing in the classrooms and schools are really fantastic. And I would love to to feature all of you here this time next year, and sharing your amazing results, how you've managed to really get the volunteers that you needed, reaching parents, and really actively utilizing ClassTag. So today we're going to talk about launch party in 3 easy steps. So what are the 3 steps? We're going to go over them very quickly now. And let me see if there are any questions, anything else. Okay, cool. All right. So Step number one, we're going to go over setting up your school. So I will show you how it will look like if you're a new school leader, and you're setting up the account, how you would add new and existing classes, how you would invite teachers. I will also show the school setup from a teacher standpoint if you are starting this as a teacher. I have a question here. My coworker is. Yes, we're going to be sharing recordings. Absolutely. Oops, I almost skipped a step. So we are back to step two. Step number two is how can you start sharing ClassTag? Perhaps you are collaborating with other teachers. And how do you start organizing everything to get it ready for parents? So we're going to go over inviting parents with SMS, email, printed flyers, how you can utilize all the activities to enjoy time saving all year, and then welcoming parents using some of the communication capabilities, and really having your personality come through you and making it a welcoming environment. And you've seen, I've referenced this ClassTag Launch Kit blog. It has a lot of these materials. We'll be also adding the replay there, and of course you guys will all receive it after the session. And so step three we're going to talk about is really the parent experience. How's parent experience in ClassTag, back to school presentation, and some other tips and ideas to get parents on board. All right, so let's dive in. That might be some of the folks on today's conference. I know learning a new platform is not easy, and there is a little bit of hesitancy here, but I promise you after today's webinar you will be very confident and you will jump right in. So with that said, let me get into the ClassTag right away, and we'll start diving in. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to sign up as a new school leader. So let's say I'm going to do Mrs. School Leader, and I'm going to do create a new account, ggg at classtag.com, and I'm going to create a password. Okay, so now I have a new school leader account, and I will say that I'm a school leader. I'm going to try to find my school. And okay, let me just scroll here. Okay, so let's see, there are a few that are. Okay, so I'm going to go for this one. Excellent. So the first thing I want to do is, so I claimed my school. Now I'm a school leader here. So I can do a couple of things. So first of all, I can start inviting other school leaders. So maybe it's a PTA members, maybe it's principal, whomever needs to be monitoring or utilizing ClassTag at a school level. I can also go ahead and invite existing classrooms. If I know that some of the teachers have created classrooms, I can go ahead and invite them. So I actually have this teacher here who told me that she has created her classroom. Let me see if we can find her. All right, so we're going to invite her class, and that teacher will receive an invitation. We'll see the teacher view in a second. So she's been invited. Cool. All right, so let's go back here, and we can see that the classroom has been invited. I can also create a new class. So as a school leader, you can create all the different classes where you have someone else as a teacher and directly invite them to join the classroom. So let me create one here. It would be let's say Fall, Mrs. Fall class, Mrs. Fall. class. All right. Someone else is a teacher, and we would say Mrs. Fall at ClassTag.com. And then it's going to be a third grade class. She has, let's say, 28 students, and in hers, I can set the settings here. We will not allow activities and announcement for parents, but we will show directory, and those things can be changed on a classroom level. So now I have in this school, I have one classroom that has been invited right here. And then one classroom is new that I've created. And as a school leader, I can join any of these classrooms, and I also can send multi-classroom announcements with one click. So I'll be able to select the grades. Actually, here it looks like both of them. I need to accept the invitation for the other class to send. But you will be able to pick here all the grades and send a multi-classroom announcement. Something else that is really cool is you can customize this to your school branding. So let's say we want to upload our nice big building, and we want to change this avatar for the school, to change it with the school logo. Let's say we are doing this one. And so now the look and feel is different. Parents do not have access to school dashboard. It really functions as an admin dashboard for teachers and school leaders. Do you have to have a school leader? So great question. Do you have to have a school leader? You don't have to have a school leader. You can use ClassTag on a classroom level, and we'll get to that in a second. One thing to note is I think it's always great if you are enjoying ClassTag to become a temporary school leader. So that then you can pass it on to the actual school leaders when time comes. So that's another option. You don't have to do it, but it's beneficial if you connect your classroom to a school if you are actively utilizing ClassTag. Which I hope you will all do after today's session. Absolutely. Cool. All right. So let's go in and get into the teacher view. So I'm going to log out, and now I'm going to be Julian, who is a teacher, right? So we just invited her classroom, and I'll show you what it looks like from Julian's perspective. And we're going to go through all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't it always happen in a live demo when your password is not working? All right, so cool. So here, actually, because the account that I use is not correct, it's identifying that this ClassTag has difficulty delivering to this account. And this is really just a side note. This is what we are doing with all of the accounts for parents and teachers and school leaders on ClassTag. We really think that you can only reach every parent if the contact information is valid. So parents where we had difficulty delivering this, we will validate the context to make sure that you are sending information to the accurate to the accurate addresses. So in this case, for now, I want to say yes, this is the right email. And as you see here, I have this invitation come in from my school leader, and now I will accept it, and my school will show up here. If I haven't been added to a school, I will have a plus school here like before, and you can click on it and go search for your school, claim it as a temporary school leader in the same way, or as Alicia was asking, we can just leave it as is and use it on a classroom level. Excellent. So the same customization we talked about, you can do for your classroom. Really encourage it. It's going to look and feel very welcoming. You can use all of these cool things here. These are just minor things, but they really set the tone. So here I have Mrs. Torres Heroes, and I have this nice images here. I can also go ahead and in my profile settings, I can add my own image. So it, of course, I'm a superhero here. All right. Excellent. Any questions so far? How did I change the avatar? All right, let's go back to it. So avatar, how did I change it? I clicked on it. So if you hover a little bit, you see a little camera on both the header image as well as avatar. And when you click on it, you can remove a photo, upload photo, and make it your own. Excellent. So now we are on to launch party. How do we start? How do we start inviting parents, creating student lists and things like that? So let me actually go in here. I have brought to my party a list of contacts so that we can use, and I'll go through all the different ways you can invite parents. To do that, you would go into the directory tab. So here, for now, we have 0 families connected, and I mentioned that there are going to be 28 students. If that number is different from reality, don't worry, it's going to automatically update. So there are 3 ways fundamentally to invite parents to ClassTag. My favorite method, because it's the fastest, and I want to save you guys as much time as possible, is copy and paste from a spreadsheet. That's what I'm going to do first. The second method would be manually adding students and parent contact information in the directory. And method number 3 is printing flyers for parents to join. So I'll show you all of these methods, but I'll start with my favorite, which is copy and paste from a spreadsheet. So here we're showing you guys that the format that we would need is student name, parent 1 email, parent 2 email, parent 3 email, up to 4 different accounts or different guardians per student. If you only have student lists, but you don't have contact information for parents, don't worry about it at all. You can copy and paste just the first column, and that would generate the student list, already saving you some time if you then want to manually invite parents or you want to print flyers. I hope that's making sense. So let me try this. So I'm here in my spreadsheet, so it's structured student name, parent 1, 2, and 3, and I have my students. So I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna paste. So something cool we just introduced is the ability to invite parents in the language they understand, to the extent that it's not English. So right from here, you can say, I want this parent to be invited in Spanish, and I want this parent to be invited in French. And so right from here, you're going to generate invites that are going to go out to parents. To the extent that you know their language preferences, you can set it right there. So from the minute they're invited, they really start getting all of these communications in their preferred language. It really, I think, goes a long, long way with some of the families. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click import and see what happens. Okay, so we are importing the contacts. Can take a little bit of time. Okay, so one wasn't wasn't correct. I didn't like it. All right, let's keep going. What's happening here? Okay. All right, so everyone imported except for one. Something happened here. It duplicated it. So I've just quickly removed this one, and I'm all set. So you can remove any student and it removes the whole family with it. So here I removed the student. I just need to reload very quickly. And okay, fantastic. Can you guys all see my screen? Everything is fine. Okay, I see one more question from Katrina. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, so ClassTag is available as a website and an app. You can put in student name, and yes, we automatically invite. So what we just did together with the import is we put in the contact information and it generated invites to parents. So now parents are invited and they will start joining me on ClassTag as a teacher here. And as soon as parents join, what I start seeing, pardon, is the resend button going away, and you will see your connect percentage going up. It means that we've validated the contacts. The amazing thing about ClassTag is that once parents are invited with valid contact information, they start receiving that information right away, and really they can join you at any point, either accepting the initial invitation, or they can really join at any later point when, let's say, they want to volunteer or see more pictures or do other things. So that yes. So what I can do now is I wanted to show you the manual way. So the manual way is adding a student. So you can add a student from here. Let's say I'm saying new student. And I can add as many as I want. And then from here, I can invite a parent. So if you're inviting manually, you can invite with both email and phone number. So I would be able to type in here, let's say I am doing an email first. And then what I'll be able to do with this new student is I can add a phone number. And as I'm inviting the parent, you notice that right here, again, I had this option to pick a language. So here I can add their phone number and really send both invites. When parents join, they can select which way they want to receive communication. All right, how to contact parents individually. All right, so let's get into the very last thing I just want to show right here, and then I start getting into all the functionality is download and print flyers. So this is the really a great way, in particular if you don't have parent information, parent contact information, or you want to augment something. So this would be the right way to go. It creates the flyers with all the customization that you've just implemented for your class. You can see the parent code, and they're specific for each child. So to make sure that we can track everything by family, you can do that from here. Does call or text the invitation? Text. Yes, it would text the invitation. So if you're putting in phone numbers, parents will receive a text message, and then they can click on the link to create their account on ClassTag. Even if they haven't accepted invitation, they will still be receiving all of their communication via text messages. Excellent, but no email. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to go into core functionality. I've seen a question about individual communication, so let me go into that first. So the first button you see on here is individual communications. We call it conversation. So what I can do here is, for now, I haven't had any conversation, so I'm not seeing any, but I want to create a new message. And here I can do that with one family. I can do that with any combination of parents. And once parents join, I can see their names here. One other thing I wanted to note is that all parent contact information is private. So it's visible to you as a teacher, it would be visible to a school leader, but parents do not see each other's contact information. Once they join, we ask them, would you like to share it or not? And it's entirely their choice. In this way, it's really their responsibility if they want to do it, get their own code. Or no, there is currently no single class code. All the codes are individual, so you will need to print the flyers. At the top of the flyer, they say student name, and you'll need to distribute them accordingly to have them connect. Excellent. So let's say I want to start a conversation with this group, and I can type a message here, and all of them receive this message. So what happens with conversation is it's really a way to have an interaction with the whole group. So once one of these parents replies, the reply will go to all of them, and it will go to all of them depending on their preference, whether email or text, and it will all be aggregated in the inbox here. The other thing to note, if parent just clicks reply from an email, it will go into here as well, making it really easy to aggregate all of these different conversations together. So that's individual conversations. All right, so I'm moving back to the second thing that I wanted to talk about is all of the key functions on ClassTag. So here we're gonna walk through very briefly some of the key functionalities, and please share your questions so I know which way you guys want to go. We have probably folks at different levels, and sort of the questions might vary, but please type them in so I make sure to address them. So the first thing I wanted to do is it's really great to have a welcome message for parents. So as they start joining, really filling them, making sure that they feel welcomed. Okay, so I'm going to show you one example of a welcome message, and it can be anything you like, but announcements is the second way of communications, which is really the way to communicate sort of in a blast way, right, where you are not expecting to have necessarily a conversation. You want to share out information, pictures, videos, anything else you want, and you can do it as announcement, and it will go into the home tab. You will see it in a second, and will go to email or as an SMS according to parents' preference. And of course, they can see it on the website as well as the apps. So let me just share here the announcement. So I'm welcoming parents. I'm sharing all the different resources. I can also attach here any images I want. So let's say I have this welcome image right here. And okay, so then now I can preview. I also wanted to pin this announcement, and I'll show you what it means in a second. So I will preview this announcement. All right, it looks good to me. And it goes out to all of the parents, and I see it right here. So it appears as a pinned announcement at the very top of my feed, but there is nothing different about it. In terms of how parents are getting it. It still goes out as SMS, email, and it's really great for announcements that are either important all year round, maybe key resources, some links, attachments, things that you want parents to look at, or something that's very important at a given point in time. So parents can do it. Once it's no longer that important, you can just click and pin it and we'll slide right in with the rest of the feed. So here in chronological order, you would see all of the different posts you're doing. You can do them from the app, quickly take a picture, snap it, share it with parents. So that's the announcement. I'm seeing one question about language. Can parents change the language or teachers need that information before setting up? Um, you don't need that information before setting up. When parents sign up, and if you have a few minutes left, I promise to show you, but the first screen they see when parents accept invitation, they will either pick the language, or they will be shown the language that you selected for them, and they can change it to something else. So ultimately it's parents' choice, and it's the first thing that they see when they sign up. If they haven't done it, they can go to their account settings right here, as well as you can, and you can change it. Okay, keep sending it to my email, so they can change it right here in the account settings. And this is, by the way, also a place where parents can choose their notification method. If I had both email and phone number, I would be able to choose, and as a parent, I can add additional contact information to my account to allow to choose between these options. Cool. All right, let me see one more question. Okay. Is there a way to see things that are not pinned? Where do this message go? Okay, so those messages that are not pinned are going to go right below. So if I send one more announcement right now, let me show you. Hello. Where are you? Quick typing here, and let's say I want to add another picture to it to make it. I can add any types of files. I can add links. Someone was asking here about the links to OneDrive. Yes, you can absolutely link specific documents, anything like that. Once you send it, it will be hyperlinked so parents can click on it. So I'll send it right here. And what happens is, okay. Oops. Okay, so, oops. So this is the latest announcement I just sent. So all of these announcements slide down from the newest to the oldest in the feed, very similar to how things work in different social media. Okay, fantastic. So let me jump into all the different communications, activities. I wanted to show you a few because I think this is a real game changer for you guys. So we have a few options here, again, from the Orange Plus. You can create events, volunteer requests to do items, and parent-teacher conference. Let me very quickly get to parent-teacher conference. It's really exciting. If that's something you guys need to do, I absolutely encourage you to use ClassTag. It automatically remembers the duration of the first slot you enter. Let's say it's 20 minutes. And then you just generate these slots across different days that you need. It's a real game changer in terms of creating these things. Let's say here I want a break. Let me come back here. I actually want to remove this one. So it's very, very easy to create the schedule. And what happens then is that parents will just click and pick a slot with one sign up. This is the automation. So once you're creating any activities, we'll let you know what the automations are coming. So weekly summary is another tab I'm going to show you in a second. But what happens with it is it automatically pulls everything that's scheduled for next week. You can add a custom message to it, but the more things you put in is events, activities on ClassTag, the more we can automate all of these communications. And then, of course, parents will be reminded to make sure that they actually do attend. I have an option to announce it right away or just click I'm done. If you announce an activity, it will go both in Activities tab as well as Home tab. Let me see if there are any more questions. Okay. All right, keep those questions coming. All right, I'm done. I'm done here. And so here I've created my parent-teacher conference. And all parents need to do is just click on one of these pluses and sign up. What you can do as a teacher also, let's say you have a few families that you know have certain constraints, you can reach out or ask them at a drop-off or pickup, and then you can just have this on your phone and you can immediately assign them to a slot. You can assign parents to volunteering slots. You can assign parents to parent-teacher conference slots. When parents make changes to conferences, parent can resign from a slot and pick a different empty slot. So they can definitely do that. Oh, okay, some avatar problems. I'll ask you to just send us what is that avatar to support at ClassTag.com, and we'll gladly help you with sort of what's happening with it. Absolutely. So this is parent-teacher conference. Events are really amazing because you can really use events for anything. So I've actually had some ideas here that I prepared to share with you guys. So you can use for something like sight word assignment. Let's say if you anything that has a date can be an event, and what happens is then it picks up all of this automation and all of the reminders, really saving you a lot of time down the road. So let's say I have sight words. I'm going to paste the specific sight words in the description, and they're going to be due, let's say, on Monday the 21st and at 8 a.m. Oops. Okay. If I was using events for something like a class party or something like this, I can add all of the different volunteers, all of the item requests right from there, and you can add as many of them as you need. Maybe you need party hats, supplies, anything. Here you can just say how many you need, and it will generate those slots again for parents to sign up with one click. I see a question. Automatic announcements need my approval before sending to parents. Automatic announcements. So these are really not announcements, they're reminders, or let's call it notifications that parents can customize on their end. Some parents say, I want as many reminders as possible. Others say, oh, this is too much. But when parents join ClassTag, actually the only message we send them through ClassTag website, the little ping here, is asking them to customize their settings. To answer your question directly, there is no approval. It's really customized on the parent end, how they want to be receiving or not receiving the notifications from ClassTag. Okay, so here, let me just delete this chaperones, sorry, this volunteer requests that are not relevant for this. I just want to show you. So this is the preview. I'm done. And again, this is an event. I can announce it right away or click I'm done. Let's say I've created this event and I want to say something about it at a later time. You can click right here and you can announce it. And it will create an announcement that will go right here, and in the home page it will generate an announcement with these things. You can also, parents can also add to calendar as well as you can, and you can review the reminders. So this reminder for this event will be included in the weekly summary, so you can see what's going to be happening with this. Another great example would be chaperones. So you can create it just as a volunteer request, or let's say you're asking for chaperones, how many you need. You can add some picture if it's a location where you're going to make it more fun to that request. So all of these things going to go in the activities in that style. So what happens next? So do parents get notification right away? Parents don't get notification right away about activities. So if you select not announce it in the flow of creating an event or any of these things, then they will just slide into the activities feed. And then you can either announce them at any time. So if I click announce here, it actually will automatically pull all of the data. So all I need to do is just preview and click send if all I want to accomplish is actually letting parents know that this activity exists. If not, then you can see specific automated reminders that are going to be happening for each of these activities types. So let's say something like parent-teacher conference. If no one from a family signed up, we will remind that specific family that they still have outstanding commitment that they need to take. If it's an event that doesn't have any volunteering opportunities or or any requirements associated with it, then it will go as in a weekly summary if you don't announce it. So we want to allow you to notify parents of the creation right away, because sometimes teachers would go in and create a lot of different activities, let's say for months coming up, and we want to make sure that we don't overwhelm parents with all of the notification of everything you create. So we leave it up to you to figure out how you want to tackle that. So let me show you the weekly summary. Weekly summary is probably one of the favorite features for a lot of teachers. And what happens is it pulls everything automatically from upcoming weeks. So here a lot of teachers would share, maybe it's student of the week or the new topic or a new project they're going through this upcoming week, some questions or activities they want to suggest. So it's really up to you whether you want to use custom message space or not. And then you can also adjust this time and date for your weekly summary and when you want it to be sending. So let's say here I have my custom message update, and I'm gonna show you what that preview looks like. All right, excellent. So here again, this is custom message. So here we have space for your custom message, and then upcoming week at a glance. There's a little calendar that's going to show all the different activities happening. In this case, next week in my classroom, we're only having one activity, which is the sight words that are right here. And then to the extent that there is anything else, school closing, I've seen a question about that it take a lot of time to keep up with. All right, one question, okay. Emergency school notification due to weather. Definitely activity is not the way to go. ClassTag, frankly, is not an emergency notification system. I know a lot of schools have something else set out for it, but absolutely send out an announcement right away for parents, and that would go through all the different channels. This would be the best way to alert everyone. Absolutely, using ClassTag. In terms of sort of making the investment, what is happening with these things is that once they are in the system, then the system takes over and helps you really manage that. So a lot of teachers actually tell me that they feel more organized because they're using a lot of these things, and they are able to look at their upcoming week at a glance or weekly summary, saying, oh, these are all the things that are happening. And it's really funny how teachers also benefit from really having this organization with the communication. So the other thing that I wanted to show you really quickly here are the other tabs we haven't looked at. So this is the account settings class settings tab, where you can really decide how you want to run your classroom community. So you can allow parents to create activities and announcements, or you can disable this feature. You can show parents to start conversation with allow parents to start conversation with other parents or not. And you can also show classroom directory to parents or not. So all of these options are available, and you can really go back and forth. So a lot of teachers where they have active room moms, they would tend to allow parents to create activities and announcements, and 90% of the time really only parents who are in a position to create them would do that. And what would happen then on a parent side is they will start seeing this orange plus as well, and they would be able to create these things, but not parent-teacher conference. Parent-teacher conference is something out of scope here. So let me actually lastly show you the parent view, and I'm seeing. Let me see that I'm not missing any questions. So let me make sure that we go over parent view for a second. happyparent@classtag.com. Okay, so here, oops. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, I'm in. Okay, so here actually showing you the language. So this happy parent is a Spanish-speaking parent. And so as they signed up, they picked Spanish as their language. So here they're seeing all of these different communications from the teacher, from school leader, that were sent in English, translated in Spanish. Actually, I think this one was sent in Italian, and then a parent can click on the actual words, and if they want to see what they look like in English. The same happens with conversations. So when you're having a conversation, with parents, you can type in English, they can type in Spanish, and it translates back and forth. So you can be having a conversation and enjoying this translation. In fact, if you have several families with different language, you will still be able to have a fairly good understanding and chat and detailability of this. So parents, let me make sure I understand the question. So in their own setting, even others in the class would like to be able to connect with each other. I'm trying to make sure that I understand the question. Do parents? So parents can, so what parents do, just going back to directory, you can see here, so let's say this teacher decided not to share information. So um, it's all not visible. Also, this parent made it not visible. Everyone else made it visible. So as a parent, I'm not seeing the contact information of other parents who decided not to share it. But in the same time, I'm still, to the extent that you allow parents to initiate conversation with other parents, I'll be able to actually reach out to parents without knowing their contact information, if that makes sense, right? Sort of managing through ClassTag and hidden emails and phone numbers. So you can still do that as a parent to the extent that you allow it in the class settings for your class. Excellent. Okay, so as you see from a parent standpoint, here I'm not able to create announcements and events. It's not allowed in my classroom. I can create conversations, again, if that's allowed, between parents. And then if I go to activities tab, I can sign up for different activities. I can add them to my calendar right from here, right? So I see all of these different things happening in my class, and I can see reminders. I can add them to the calendar. And actually here, I'm seeing Happy Parent because that's where I signed up for Parent-Teacher Conference. Fantastic. So, and the last thing I wanted to highlight, I haven't showed you the stats on the teacher side, but this is what I can see for my own family. So parents also have their stats view, and they can see this only for their own family. You can see it for everyone, and they can see it only for themselves to make sure that they're accountable and, sort of can look at their own contributions. Can they keep the information private even if the teacher allows it? Yes, parent can still keep their specific information, their contact information private, and that's the default state. By default, before parent joins, it's private, and then it can be made visible to other parents if the parent decides to do so. So putting that on the parent. Excellent. Okay, so that's pretty much all we have. The last thing I wanted to show is we also have this photo gallery. So the way it works is you can, if there is, say, a lot of pictures you want to upload, you can just load them up to class photos. You can also, to the extent that you organize an event on ClassTag, we have these folders that are pre-created, and you can add different photos to the folders for events. Currently, photos don't create notifications. So again, just to avoid overwhelming parents with lots and lots of pictures if there is, let's say, a big event. But once you create a folder and you upload lots of these pictures, you can just let them know as an announcement saying, hey, go check out this folder. The last thing I wanted to tell you, I think it's important, is that this URLs or this web addresses at the top are actual links that are specific to you. So to the extent that you want to somewhere refer to your class, you can copy and paste this link from a home page. For example, it will go to your classroom. If you want to parents to refer to activities, you can do that as well. So all of these links are actually real and specific to your class. In the same time, parents would need to have valid contact information to be able to go and to visit it, because it's private to your community and whomever you invited. Can the school leader see teacher and family activity? The school leader can visit a class, see all of the activities, all of the announcements and things on the homepage, and also being able to see the stats for the classroom. What a school leader cannot see are private messages between teacher and any of the parents. So private messages are private. They can, again, because they're aggregated in one place, they can be printed, but it's really up to you to sort of make that available. So I just wanted to. We are really at 9 o'clock now in New York, and I really appreciate your guys' attention. I hope it was a good time, and you guys learned how to utilize ClassTag. I know there are many more questions that I didn't get to, but I promise to follow up with the email. And I really look forward to seeing you next Wednesday with Danielle and Rebecca, who are amazing teachers, and they've been using ClassTag for several years now. They know all ins and outs, all the tips, and sort of how they really make this amazing engagement in their classroom. And actually now it started from both of them, but now their respective schools are all using ClassTag, which is very exciting. And for all school leaders out there, in about a week, we're adding school-wide events. That's a big milestone for us. So managing all of the volunteers for PTAs, events that are across school, you can do that with one click from the school dashboard, and it's going to be really, really exciting and very time saving. So again, kudos to you for joining today. I think now really would be exciting time to get back to you respective families. And I think my daughter is already knocking on the door, so I better go. But I really loved meeting you all today, and we'll be responding via email on all of the questions. Thank you.